I'm a survivor and a thriver of domestic violence. I was in a domestic violence relationship with my husband and became a single mom. You go through a period of depression where you feel like your life is over and you don't know how to come back from that. But that's resilience, right? You either gonna stay down or you gonna get up, right? Because if you're gonna stay down, nothing's gonna ever change. And that's a personal decision that you have to make. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your gift, if you don't believe in your business, you will become discouraged.
If I continue doing that, then I'm building a system of failure and not resilience. And ultimately, I want that 3 to turn into 6 and that 6 to turn into 9. But you got to keep going. And so one of those fail safes is if you don't hit your sales mark or your mark, just show up and do it anyway. And do it like there was 5,000 people in there.
You are now listening to the Dee Hankins Show. Life, curveballs, home runs, the Dee Hankins Show. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go.
Now, there's a saying, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. Go with someone. All right? That's how you get to where you want to go. I remember doing a previous episode with Dr. Jaya John where he talked about no one is self-made. Someone always has helped you get to where you want to go. Now, we're going to intentionally focus on what it means to collaborate, to network, to get mentored, to get to where you want to go. Your dreams are your own, but you need help getting there. So if you are new to watching this podcast, I help you with life by filtering life through what I call the 3 buckets to help you make better choices in life and protect your core 4 to ultimately become more resilient. So if you like this episode, consider liking, consider commenting, consider giving it a share and subscribing to the channel. It would help this podcast so much. Without further ado, my name is Dee Hankins and I'm your host. Welcome to the Dee Hankins Show. And as you can see, I have a guest. Now it's all about the mental pillar today, where we're talking about collaboration and networking through entrepreneurship so you don't burn out. Statistics show that I think it's like 70% of new businesses fall flat on their face, and not being able to collaborate and network is one of them. So we're going to dive into it. And I have with me, I know I need my buttons.
Right.
Ehmandah Ramsey, who is a serial entrepreneur,
Experiential
speaker, founder, co-pastor. And I want to dive into that a little bit because you grew up under your dad, Dr. Reverend Shelter T. White.
That's right.
Who pastored a church for 50 years. Okay. And from that, you learned this, what we call like legacy, right? Building something that outlives you. And so you got to see that at a young age. Which sparked this kind of, like, I call you a serial entrepreneur because you're always doing something. You're always building something.
Builder.
Which kind of sparked that. And this passion to kind of build community projects. You've built nonprofits, you built for-profits, you built, like I said, community projects, foundations. You're on the board of, different international organizations. You built TEDx.
I was a TEDx moderator.
Okay. So you've done a lot. Okay. Your biggest babies are what?
Wow. The biggest babies that I've built is a co-working space back in 2016 when co-working wasn't really a thing in the IE. It was kind of new to everyone. And I'm, happy to wear the badge that I pioneered, that in the Inland Empire back in 2016. And then She Stories, my nonprofit, storytelling for women, helping them have self-agency, help them with their mental health, help them own their story and write a new ending. So yeah, done some great work. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. You should be. So, with that being said, that's my, mediocre introduction, but there's so much more to you that only you
Mediocre.
could say it how you should say it. So, please introduce yourself to my audience.
Wow. I think you did a really great job.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm a community person. I've always been that ever since I was a little kid. When I talked to my sister about how I was when I was a child, I was like, how was I, when I was a little kid? I was the one that invited all the kids in the neighborhood to my house, have my little play restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Inviting people over. And I've always been a community person. And I have deep roots in that because of my dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it as a kid. And then from there, every business that I've started has always been community. The core of it has always been community. So community is huge for me. I think it's important for everyone to have community in every stage of your life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like for people to know the whole, right? And so part of this podcast is really to help inspire people that have been through some things. Like I try to build the bridge between high performance, like what you are doing now, and trauma, right? So it's always like you are not what you have been through.
Yeah.
And so before we dive into the real juicy parts, let's, if you don't mind, just a little bit, let's go back and show what it takes to, build resilience at the end of the day and be here. Because you went through some stuff.
I did, as folks used to say, I'm a living testimony, right, of the things that I've been through. I can be as transparent because I'm very open with my story. I'm a survivor and a thriver of domestic violence. I was in a domestic violence relationship with my husband and became a single mom from that. And a little bit after that, I started my co-working space. And the very interesting thing, since we're talking about entrepreneurship, in 2015, my mom died out of nowhere. She was having some breathing issues, but no heart problems, nothing of that. They couldn't find anything wrong with her. And I was right in the middle of signing a lease. And then my mom dies, right? Me and my friend, at the time, my partner. And I went on and signed the lease anyway. Didn't even take a moment to grieve. All these things I've been thinking about over the last few years that attribute to my burnout and where I am today and being resilient. So my mom passes away. I signed the contract, right? And I'm building this business. And then my business partner was like, I don't want to do it anymore. So here I am, stuck by myself, right? Living off of retirement, putting all of my money into it, still an entrepreneur, still a mom, still playing piano at churches and doing these things, really building this business and really stepping into entrepreneurship and having no clue on what to do. Like there was no playbook on how to be an entrepreneur. I was a musician. And then I said, ooh, I got an idea. Let me start a co-working space. People are like, first of all, what is that? I don't know what the heck that is. But I saw the need to have community. When I used to do piano lessons at church, my dad would often walk in with his friends. Hey, hey, man, how you doing? This is Reverend so-and-so. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to do a lesson here. I'm trying to make my money. This is my business right here. And I kind of got tired of that. And so that's when I came up with the idea. And I heard about co-working, and I started visiting different co-working spaces, and then I got the idea to start one. So that was kind of the beginning. So you got my mom passing away, right? And me still having the residuals of my DV relationship where I was still healing then. And then I have my co-working space, and then my partner leaves. Okay, that's another traumatic experience, right? And I think that was when I really learned how to be resilient, and I didn't even know what resilient was, because that wasn't even a word that we were using back then, right? You just strong, you know what I'm saying? You're just a strong person, but I kept pushing through. And after that, I moved to a new location, and then the pandemic hit, and then I had to shut my business down. And that literally killed me. That almost took me out. And I grieved that for a very long time because I put my heart and my soul and all of my money into this business that really built my personal brand, right? And my name throughout the communities. And then all of a sudden, it's gone. And I'm like, then who am I now?
Yeah.
My identity, my DNA is gone. And in that, I was in a period of grieving. So you got trauma after trauma after trauma. Never taking a moment to pause, to rest, right? To recalibrate, to reflect, and figure out what you should do next without pushing, because that's what we do as entrepreneurs.
So pause there, because that is definitely a misconception of resilience. But I want to rewind just a little bit, right? Like I said in the beginning, this podcast is all about using my 3-bucket philosophy. That's the framework. And the 3-bucket philosophy is my choices, bucket number 1. Bucket number 2 is others' choices. And bucket number 3 is acts of God, natural disaster,
Right.
things that are out of everybody's control. Okay. And bucket number 1, that's where you have all of your power. Okay. Absolute responsibility, absolute authority, absolute power, right? 100% control.
Yeah.
In bucket number 2, 0% control.
Yeah.
0% authority. However, you do have influence, right? And then in bucket number 3, 0 influence, 0 control, 0 everything. It's a
Right.
bucket of complete zeros, all right? In your situation, you're facing bucket number 3.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people fight with bucket number 3.
Yeah.
2 and 3 are the big ones, but bucket number 3, two, like I said, you have influence. So you could get some type of result sometimes in bucket number
course.
2. And bucket number 3 doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't care about your mom passing away, doesn't care about nothing. It just does what bucket 3 does. And so here you have you taking full responsibility and saying, okay, I'm going to build these businesses. I see this community need. And I remember that conversation where you're kind of surveying people and just like, I think, what was it? WeWork was big in LA.
Yeah.
You know, nothing out here like that. 0. So you were the first one. 210E. Yeah. All right. So, right.
That's
right. Okay,
right.
cool. And 2020.
Boom.
Global pandemic that was just like, oh.
A lot of stuff happened. I went through a romantic breakup. George Floyd, everything
Yeah.
that was happening with, socially for African Americans, and the pandemic.
So it's a lot of bucket 3 stuff right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And those are the hardest hits because
Yeah.
you can do nothing about it, right?
yeah.
And so with that being said, you come to this point where, it's funny because I relate to that. It's same kind of concept. Yeah, all I do is speak. That's all I do. And large groups travel. That is my job description.
Right.
And that's the first thing they shut down was large groups and travel. And I couldn't do it anymore. And yeah, I was in here and I was stuck, man. I felt like I had lost my identity. And for a cool couple months, I was, like face to face with depression. Like we were wrestling.
Yeah.
Eventually we got out of it. So with that being said, when bucket 3 problems where you have no control, you have no say so, come your way, what happens?
Man, realistically, you just feel like life is over. Let's just keep it real. Like you say, you go through a period of depression where you feel like your life is over and you don't know how to come back from that. But that's resilience, right? To be able to come back. And then I think after that step, you have a moment of reflection. Okay, I'm still here. I'm still me. I still got this genius and brilliance up in here and this power and this authority. Now what can I do with it?
That's the solution. It's how do I get back into bucket number 1?
Yeah.
What are my options? What are my choices? And so you had this moment. And a lot of people, like real quick, because a lot of people, when I teach this, they think that I'm saying, suck it up. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you have to go through your phases. You have to go through your emotional
Of course.
cycle. Be angry, be sad,
It's like the
be
stages
depressed.
of grief.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is just natural. You know what I'm saying? You just can't stay there. That's my hammer down point. You can't stay there. You have to have a moment that goes, okay, my only option right now is to figure out how to get back into bucket 1. What choices do I have? And so you're faced with this moment. What choices do I have? And it could be 1. You know, it could
Could
be
be.
one, it could be half of one. You know, but you got to say, what choices do I have? You had this moment. What did you decide to do?
Yeah, and before I say that, I think you know you're right. You have a choice. Like E40 says, everybody got choices, right? You either gonna stay down or you gonna get up, right? Because if you're gonna stay down, nothing's gonna ever change, and that's a personal decision that you have to make. That's self-leadership of what I teach. It's all about you leading yourself. So I had to lead myself. Okay, all right, Amanda, we got this taken away, that taken away. Now what are we gonna do? What can I do? Then I got an opportunity to do a virtual workshop based on something that I created like years ago. And that was the beginning of new opportunities for me. So I believe that if you open yourself up to be able to receive new opportunities, then you can find yourself back to number one. But you have to be open to it because it may not look like what the former you were, right? So I had to honor Amanda, the co-working space owner, operator, pioneer, innovator. I had to honor that. I had to honor, you know, She Stories, doing live events that was taken away from me. So now what I'm gonna do, when life give you lemons, right? You make lemonade. Yeah. What you gonna do? You know, you have a choice. Everybody has a choice. And so that's what I did. I was like, an opportunity came to me to do a virtual event. Cool. Somebody else was like, hey, we want you to host this event for us online for the women. Of course, I've never did that before in my life, but yeah, I'm down for it. I'm home. I ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm stuck at home alone, like the movie. And when I did that, literally, my life started to shift and change. I started to see me in a different light. Those gifts that I had from when I was a kid, you know, being the community person, they still exist.
Never
it just
went
looked
away.
different. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily bringing people together physically, but you're bringing people together virtually. And that's when the aha moment came on. It's like, okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Right.
Different, but I'm back though. You know what I'm saying?
So take it from there. What did this new version of you, I'm pretty sure these ideas started flooding your head. Did a part of you go, okay, I've built these things alone, right? Because you ran that co-working space by yourself.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember. That was tough.
Yes.
Long nights, man. For real.
Nights and days.
For real. And so you learned something from that.
Yeah.
Right? And so your other endeavors, how did they look different? Like, what part of that Amanda evolved?
Well, it's important for me to say that I still kept community. Like Lee, you know, Lee. We still would talk. We would have dinner virtually, you know, on our computers. So I kept community because that was important for me. I know for me, environment is important for me to thrive as a person. So if I'm not tapped into my community, then I know that I will start to have a lot of challenges, right? So I kept with that. And in those moments where doors begin to open for me, I said, all right, I've created something in the past that God gave it to me. I spoke it and that was it. But then when the opportunity came and said, hey, we want you to create this 4-week workshop on soul care. And I was like, okay. And we're going to pay you a nice piece of change.
I like that.
1 hour a week for 4 weeks, helping people to look within so that they can find their path to healing. And that brought up everything that I taught when I was at McKinley before I even started my business. So the things that are inside of us, sometimes they sit for a little bit and we're in a different chapter. And then I believe that God brought that back up for me. All right, cool. We're going to tap into this because this is where I want you. This is where you're going to be. And this is going to develop you to be able to create more community once the pandemic is over. So I tapped in. And I tapped in well.
Yeah, so talk about that, man, because that's the exciting part, right? Now, obviously, it comes with its challenges, but, like, are you starting to see a pattern at this point? Like, are you starting to see, some of the stuff that, like you said, it was dormant. It was never gone. It was dormant. But now, when I'm put in this position, I got that skill too. When I put in this position, I got that skill too. a lot of things I try to tell my audience, and even the audience, like when I'm speaking live, is your talent is useful. Like the people want, oh, that's not gonna make any money. Well, you don't know that.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the people who crochet, like there's if you crochet good enough,
Yeah.
there's a need for what you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in the farmer's market where you're
Right.
selling it, not finding success there,
Yeah.
but making children's blankets,
Mm-hmm.
making, do, like you said, doing something for the community, serving.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people don't tap into that. It's like very individualistic a lot of times. I'm going to just make these ornaments and I'm going to sell them at farmers markets and see if people want them. When it's just like, no, you have a broader purpose for your talent.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you use them to help somebody and then see where that goes?
I think we're not taught that, though. I often tell people, okay, I sing, right? And I sing, and I can choose to sing at church, or I can sing to be an artist. But I got to look at that gift that I have right there. Now, how can I multiply this gift, right? And have different revenue streams from music? Even if I could never sing again, I could teach.
Yeah.
Right? I could create a course. I can train other people. I can have a team of people that go out and teach. It's endless, because I think oftentimes, like you said, we're so individualistic, or we think so small, like this is it. Like you talked about somebody crocheting. Okay, well, maybe you can do the farmer's market, but you could teach other people how to crochet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can
for
teach
sure.
other people how to crochet. You can sell it online. You can make crochet kits and sell that online too. So we got to open up our minds a little bit more. When we feel that things are taken away from us, we still have the gift inside of us, no matter what. No matter if I never got on the stage again, I still have the gift, and it can still be used greatly in this world.
That's a great point. If you guys are listening, that is a great point. Don't stop at just one avenue. Like, open your mind up to different avenues. Same thing with speaking. I am really great at being on stage, and I love it with all my heart. And one time I went to a workshop for speakers, and they were charging people $100,000 for like the basics. And I'm like, dude, I could teach you that for free just because I love to talk. You know what I'm saying? But again, you take your talent, you go, how can I use this?
Yeah.
How can I utilize it? What different avenues can I touch? Who can I reach out to that may need this skill that I have? All of you out there are highly talented in something.
Yeah.
Comedians are good at telling jokes. Writers are good at writing and telling stories. They may not be able to act worth a lick,
Yeah.
right? But they can write a book.
Yeah.
People have made everything that we're wearing. Somebody made it. Somebody's talented enough to make it. You know what I'm saying? So so you, and that's coming from your entrepreneurial brain that just goes da 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 this and that. So you get this workshop, you do this course, and after this 4-week course, you're like, what?
After the 4 weeks, I'm like, wow, that was cool, Now what can I do? Because that kind of opened up my mind. Because I think a lot of times when you go through challenges as an entrepreneur, sometimes those challenges overcome you and really can block your mind from seeing the future or seeing what's possible, because you're trapped under all this pain and this trauma, and you really can't see. It's kind of like debris, right? If stuff fell on you, like, and you're trying to pull yourself out of it, and it keeps falling on you. You can't fully function because of that. So for me, I think once I got that opportunity, it started to open up my mind. Like, oh, okay, I still got the juice. I still got it. All right. There's some other things that I can do. And then more opportunities started to come for me to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. And remember, we had those conversations, and I never wanted to be a speaker. I'm a singer. I'm not doing that. But it just came. And I think that comes from not having that confidence in yourself, because you see what other people are doing and you think you should do it like them. No, we're all unique.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always look at Eric Thomas, like, he's not the most poised individual, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, proper and all that, but he speaks, and he speaks to your heart, and he inspires and motivates you like you do. And sometimes we think like, well, I can't do it like that, so I can't do it. But yeah, you can. You got to do it in
Yeah.
your own
You
way.
gotta do it in your own way. I tell my students that all the time, man. Whoever's in my speaking school, I'm like, dude, you have a certain way of talking.
Mm-hmm.
That way is the most expert way. You've been doing it for years. I've been speaking this way for 38 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So why change it now?
Yeah.
I perfected this way. And, you know, I've been around a lot of speakers. Some speakers are super monotone, super just linear, but they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, jokes, dark humor, whatever, maybe
Right.
so, but they're funny. Some are very eccentric. You know, like I am. I'm very eccentric. Very, like I'm hitting 10,000 steps whenever I'm on the stage, right to left, sweating, you know,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Some people sit down.
Yeah.
You know, some people are way up here, way down here.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. You're an expert because you've been doing it for however many years, but do it your way. And this is across all forms
Yeah.
of things. And this is why you see a lot of people doing the same things that other people are doing. So I'm gonna put my boy in the hot seat right now. His name's Terrence. Terrence is my best friend.
All right, Terrence.
Yeah, Terrence, man, this guy. So for a moment, he started customizing shoes.
Okay.
You know, got into it a little bit, man. He was creating some stuff, you know, and then just kind of fell by the wayside. And I remember talking to him about it. I'm like, hey, man, what happened to you customizing shoes? He's like, oh, everybody customizes shoes. And I'm just like, yeah, but they don't do it like you. You know, you would have
Right.
your own little
Mm-hmm.
twist on it, you know, but he was kind of stuck on, yeah, well, it's kind of saturated or whatever. And I think about it like every market that you think about is saturated. You just have to do it your own way.
Heck yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think of how many phone companies are out there.
Man, how many different types of bread?
Think of bread,
Perfume.
cologne, movies. Like, think about that. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like, a lot of movies are out there are the same premise. Spy movies, yada yada, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But because the director has his own personal take on it, his own
Yeah.
personal style, these movies are different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at all this equipment. We got DJI, we got Rode. Like, they all create the same
The
things.
same
They
thing.
just do it differently in their own little way. And then so people like myself, I'm a huge DJI fan.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks to me.
Yeah.
Mobile, you know, grab and go,
Mhm.
this and that, like high quality. That speaks to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure there's some other companies out there, but if you put me in front of a DJI and let's say a Zune, I'm picking DJI.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Now, some
Yeah.
people might be like, oh, no, Zune is da-da-da, this and that.
Mhm.
Same thing with Android and Apple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
get
It's
started.
always going to, right? It's always going to be this battle, even though at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they do the exact same thing, get us from point A to point B, make the calls that we need.
Mhm.
We all have our different preferences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so same thing with entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It's just like the co-working space. Yeah, there was WeWork, there was another big one. WeWork was the biggest one.
Yeah, that was the biggest one.
Peer space? No.
Yeah.
No, that's you rent out spaces.
Yeah.
But
A whole bunch of workspaces.
a whole bunch of workspaces.
Yeah.
But think about Airbnb.
Yeah.
There is, what does it call it? The Verbo.
Uh-huh.
All this other stuff.
All
Like
that, yeah.
there's Turo, right? Taxis, Ubers, Waymo, like
Lyft, Uber.
Lyft, Uber. So
Yeah.
it's just like, y'all, go out there and do your thing, but do it your way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you did that.
Yeah. And you know what? I had community though that gassed me up.
Yeah.
Like that was like, you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
talk about that. What's the importance of that? Because let's run it through, and I'll use examples for myself too.
Mhm.
A lot of my ideas come in silence. In the shower, when I'm about to go to bed, and I should be in bed, I get these ideas
Mhm.
and things like that. And sometimes I run these ideas by certain people, and they hit me and go, dude, that's a great idea, bro. Run with that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do that. Talk about that. Talk about the importance of like having somebody, you know, either keep it real with you and go, nah, or be like, yo, yeah, pull the trigger on that.
Yeah. You know, the beautiful thing about co-working, when it started in the beginning, right? The origin of co-working was working alone at home sucks, right? So you're going to a space, becoming a member, so you can be around like-minded individuals where you can cultivate community and thrive together, right? And that kind of still exists today, but not so much. But in my personal experience, because of me being an operator and creating and curating that community, when I walked into my space, I had Lee, I had you, I had a couple other people. And I would go to ideas with Lee all the time. Like, everybody knows, like, I'm an idea person. Like, I got ideas. I got business for days. You need a business? I got one for you. I've already got the framework and all that. But I would go to him, and I'll be like, Lee, you know, I got this idea. I want to do da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, he knows me well enough and spend enough time with me to be like, well, Amanda, you know, maybe not this way. Giving me a fresh perspective on my idea, or helping me to see something that I didn't think about. And that's a beautiful thing about co-working. It's like, we call it like a idea party or a brainstorm. Like, we sit together and we workshop these ideas, and I can get other perspectives. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm here to serve other people, right? You're the customer, right? I own the business. I can't create things just for me, right? Because I'm not going to make any money. I'm not going to build anything. I'm not going to make any impact or any influence. So having people around you that are like-minded, that understand entrepreneurship and the importance of pouring into each other is very important for your journey, because I believe the company you keep is important while you're building yours. That's good company, baby.
That's facts. That's facts. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. You're absolutely right. Being able to bounce your ideas off of somebody, being able to become part of a group. And this spans across, you know, everything. I remember when I was going to the gym at like 5 a.m. There's only like 10 people in there, you know. We call it the 5 a.m. club. But you start seeing these people over and over again. Why are you in here at 5 a.m.? Oh, like-minded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get it done.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my day started with, but this is important. You go, okay, cool. You start chatting, you start doing all these things. In my episode with Nurhan, she talks about being open and being genuinely interested in other people's life and ideas. And that opens up opportunities. Oh, you're trying to do this? Oh, I know somebody who bakes bread.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, this and that. And that's like, it's so interesting to me why people want to stay closed off, when in reality somebody knows somebody that 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 knows somebody. And that's it. That's just how it goes, right? And it's so funny that you mentioned like these ideas, because I was cleaning out my laptop, just going through old files, and it came across a folder that said CIA. You remember that?
Kinda.
CIA, the Creative Idea Agency. Remember that? We were going to come up with a business where if you had an idea or you needed an idea, that you could come to us. And like you said, we'd break it down for you and go, okay, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But CIA was already taken, so, you know, but Creative Idea Agency, that's what it was.
I'm an idea doula. I'm here to help you birth your idea. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that, man. So that's beautiful. So, all right. Good company. What does it mean to have good company? When you say that, I think of they did a piece on LeBron James.
Okay.
And you know me, a huge LeBron James fan.
King
James, right? But more so what he does outside of basketball. And you know, one of the commentators was commenting on how he brought his high school friends with him.
Yeah.
They all got jobs. They're all a part of something. They all have a hand in some type of business. Most famously, Rich Paul, his sports agency manager. Even though LeBron, brought him along, Rich Paul has now made it his own thing.
Sure has.
You know what I'm saying? And across some other folks as well. I remember, what rapper is it? I think it's is it T.I. or Ludacris? I think it might be Ludacris who said he got his nephew into cooking school, into the culinary arts school.
Okay.
And now he's a personal chef for Luda.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And so I believe it's Ludacris, and fact check me, but I believe it's Ludacris. And it's just like, okay, what does it mean to keep good company while you're being an entrepreneur? How important is that? What does that look like?
Yeah. Well, when you think about good company, it's a new company that I'm creating. It's a curated company for entrepreneurs. And there's an arc. There's 3 things that I believe about good company. Number 1, you have to be good company to yourself. As an entrepreneur, it's important for you to learn the art of self-companionship, because when you start a job and you leave a job and then you start a business, you're kind of disconnected from those folks, because those folks know you from the 9 to 5. They don't know the grind. They don't know the hustle. They don't know the entrepreneur journey. So it's important for you in those moments when you feel isolated and you feel alone to be good company to yourself. Number 2 is important.
So
go ahead.
You're breezing past that.
Breeze on.
So explain now. What does it mean to be good company to yourself? Like, what does it mean to be good to yourself? Like, explain that.
When you are good company to yourself, you are encouraging yourself. You're having self-compassion. You're believing in yourself, and you're having self-confidence. All those things, I believe, are essential in order for you to survive as an entrepreneur. Because remember, we talked about all the different breads, all the different perfumes. We live in a world of digital assets, social media. We see all these different things, people doing different stuff and starting different businesses. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your gift, if you don't believe in your business, you will become discouraged. So you have to really believe in who you are, what you're called to do, and the thing that you're going to launch. Like it is life or death. You have to. And that's the start of being good company to yourself. You have to master that art of self-companionship, because you're going to be alone.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going to be alone
You're
for a while.
going to be alone. And there's going to be people that you've always talked to before about your problems that will not understand and cannot give you advice because they've never experienced it.
Man, that is so facts. Why
don't you just quit? Why don't you just get a job?
I oftentimes sit here, when I was going through some stuff, just personal relationships, while I was being an entrepreneur. Yeah, you really do feel alone. I just thought, like, all of my kids' moms just thought I was here just twiddling my thumbs.
You don't do nothing all day, huh?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, yo, that was crazy. I remember one time my son, he's talking to his friends, and his friends like, oh yeah, my dad, works at blah blah blah. He's going to work. He does this and that, yada yada. And Brooklyn's like, oh yeah, He looks at me, he goes, Dad, like, do you have a job? He's like, what do you do for work?
What do you do?
Yeah, it was funny. It's just like, but there's those moments where you're literally up, 9 to 9, and you're grinding, you're reading, you're learning, you're doing all this stuff, and then people don't see that, and they just think that you're just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just chilling. I try to, even my wife, man, I'm like, hey, Mondays, like, you go, like, I need you to not do nothing on Monday because I need to work. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes it's sitting here, it's editing, it's learning how to edit, it's recording a podcast and finding out you didn't press record and having to do it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's watching something because, you know, it's been solo and I've done this a million times where I flip on the camera, you know, I'm doing my thing, yada, yada, and I'm out of frame or it's foggy or it's, you know, this and that.
Yeah.
And you go home frustrated because you spent 6 hours trying to build something. I remember I tried to build my own website one time. I was following this YouTube video and everything got down. Boom, 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 boom. Took like 8 hours to build, you know, finally publish it and nothing works. Nothing works. So it's like, yeah, and there are times where it's just like, F it, man.
Yeah, honestly.
Like this, it's not worth it. It's not. And sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes it's just like, okay, you know.
Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? You know, you shoot videos, you post ads for this, you know, event that you're going to do. 3 people signed up and you're like, dude, whatever. But the thing about what you're saying is, 3 people signed up.
Yeah, 3 people signed up.
3 people signed up. And that's how you switch the thing. And the thing, like, and I think about that because on the outside looking in, they're just like, oh man, you've been advertising this thing for 2 weeks and only 3 people signed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
let me see you do it.
Yeah. But even now, it's just like, don't get a real job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But 3 turns to 6. 6 turns to 9. 9 turns to 18. 18 turns to 100. 100 turns to 1,000. 1,000 turns to 5,000. 5,000 turns into 10,000. Next thing you know, those same people that were just like, get a job are just like, yo, can I hold something?
Right. Oh, put me on, you know what I'm saying?
And you've been there before.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. Entrepreneurship is a lonely journey. I'm not going to lie. That's why it's important for you to have community because you spend a lot of time by yourself. You have all the jobs. Social media, you know, financial manager, whatever it may be, whatever job that you see these big companies have as an entrepreneur, you're wearing all those hats.
Everything. You're paying taxes. You're filing taxes. You're on the phone with the tax people. Like, people don't forget about that. Like insurance. You need that. If you get in trouble, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you get
all
injured.
of it.
Anything.
Yeah, if you get injured, the business has to go on.
Right.
So you be in your office with a broken leg, in pain, popping them Tylenol pills, but you still got to make it happen.
That's right, man.
So what's step 2 in your arc?
Man, step 2 is find good company. And that's what we've been talking about, is really finding a community of entrepreneurs that get it. You know what I'm saying?
What's the difference between good company and a yes man?
Man, a person that's good company going to tell you the truth. Like, that's whack.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You know, don't start a baking business. I know you need money, but that's not your strong suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a person that is good company will tell you the truth because they care about you and they want to see you thrive. They want to see you grow as a business, and they will put you back in alignment with your true calling instead of us detouring, because that's what we do as entrepreneurs, right? Because we start thinking like, if things ain't working out and you got the noise and the people talking, we're like, oh, well, maybe I should do this or maybe I should tweak that. The person you're in good company with is like, nah, dog, stay with that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit of time. You might have to get you a little part-time job, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But stick to the plan.
What do you say to people who are just hard-headed? The people that have good company, but they can't see it, and they categorize you as a hater. Where you like, hey man, them cookies that you made last week was not fire. They was not good. And you you just hating, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, how do you, because I think that's an important part. And I see this all the time in my professional space where, I'll tell even some of my students, like, it's just not ready.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they get discouraged. I have really great students that kind of understand my style now. I keep it real because for me, it's just like, you are now a reflection of me. Because if you get on stage and you bomb and then you go, oh, I went to Dee Hankins Speaker School.
Mentor?
Like, yeah, it's not happening, right? So I try to tell them, I'm like, no, look, when you say it like this, or if it's not quite ready, don't feel bad. And if I get on you and say, you know what, that's good, but it's not great, don't feel bad. Even if you've worked on it for 6 hours and you're like, yo, this is it. Like, don't feel bad, right? Because at the end of the day, I want you to succeed. The only way that my business is going to grow is if you guys are top notch. And I tell them that all the time.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have to be top notch on what you do. You like outside of the speaking space, like, you know, whatever. But when you get on stage, if you're gonna say I was taught by Dee, you need to be A1, right? And it needs to feel good to you.
Yeah.
All right. So I always ask him, well, how'd that feel? Oh, well, you know, okay, cool. That means we need to work on it.
Yeah.
Same way I treat myself. If I don't love it, I don't buy it. That's how I do my shopping. Like if I do not love it, I do not buy it. And it's just because that's how I flow. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want people to look at me like, oh man, if you don't like this, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, I'm trying to serve y'all. And if y'all, the audience, are telling me that they don't like it, then we have to change some things. And this is a practice that corporations have been doing for years, especially in the movie industry.
Yeah.
You know, me, I'm a huge movie guy. And so when you look at who does Sonic? Is it Fox? Sony? Fox? Whoever does Sonic, the Hedgehog movie. When they first came out, they changed his look.
Yeah.
You know, and the audience was just, social media went crazy.
Like,
hell nah, we are not watching that. That's hideous, yada, yada, so on and so forth. What did they do? They changed it. Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog went to go beyond. You know, it's 3 movies deep now. It went to go on, make so much money, right? Disney does that with a lot of their movies.
Yeah.
They bring in a focus group. They say, how do you guys like this? So on and so forth. They're building good company.
Yeah.
We want to make something for y'all that's ultimately going to make us money, right? But it's not going to make us money if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Get around people that are going to help you be successful by being honest on both sides of the fence. If it's great, it's great. If it's not, it's not. Can you tell us how to differentiate good company from a hater, though?
Man.
Because there's a lot of people that want to see you fall flat on your face.
There are. I think that's why it's important for you to spend time with people. You can learn a person, you know what I mean? And really discern their motives, if they really honestly are being there for you as a friend, as a colleague, or if they're just being a hater. And I think that comes with time of really learning people and having wisdom. When you were talking about that, I was thinking about my friend Chris. So when I had my co-working space when we moved to Upland to Claremont, I had got all these different spaces, right? I had like conference rooms, offices, and all this other stuff. And, you know, my friend Chris, he's like, well, how much are you paying? Chris came in because he was looking for a place to work. He had just came back to the States, and he was just looking for a place to work. So instantly we became friends. You remember him, Chris?
Vaguely.
Yeah, super sarcastic, could be a little rough around the edges, but he keeps it real with you. A lot of people don't like that about him. He keeps it real. He's just honest, but he cares. And so he's like, well, let me look at your books, you know, because he was like, I want to be a part of your space. I want to help you out. And I was like, all right, he's a business consultant. I'll let him look at my books. He's like, listen, you are in trouble. The health of your business is horrible. Like you are literally about to be on life support. And that freaking hurt me to my core that he said that. Like I hated him for a little bit. Like I was mad at him. But because it was my baby, right? Like, and he was telling me things that I kind of knew, but it was a truth that I wasn't ready for. He held up the mirror for me to see myself and my business. So I say all that to say is that when you're around people that you can actually trust, that want to see you thrive, it may hurt when they tell you the truth, but it's for your good, for the benefit of you to be successful as a person and as an entrepreneur. It hurts for somebody to tell you, you need to let that go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to grow, you need to drop that. That's holding you back.
Fact.
If you want to go further in your business, you're probably going to have to let this person go. You're going to probably have to let this side of your business go. And that really hurts because you're like, you put all of this into, this is your baby, and you're trying to tell me to get rid of it? But I want you to grow because that's what you want, right? You want to grow. You want to be successful. You want to scale your business. You got to let it go. And that was the trusted source. So people that you actually trust, there are going to be haters. And most times people that are haters, they ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. No. all the people that are haters are not doing nothing or secretly want to do what you do. Like that's just how it is.
And want to criticize. You know what I'm saying?
Criticize. Because, and we got to understand something, y'all. Hating is also a talent. People wake up and you see it on social media all the time. People wake up and they spend 8 hours a day on hating, trolling, this and that. That is also a career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, you have to, like you said, the first step is being confident in you and confident in your business. These trolls hop around from, do this and that, and they just say stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if you're, like, I remember like somebody put a comment under my ad for my live workshop. They put like, it was racist comment, a banana, right? This and that, like whatever in a banana. It's just like, which one of us is one, creating something, and two, not using, and two, commenting on the thing that somebody's created.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why you can't be discouraged with haters or nothing like that, because haters become your fans. Ultimately, they become your fans.
And they should be your fuel.
Yeah. Oh, facts. What's that song, man? Is it Imagine Dragons, where it's just like you were in the nosebleeds? What's that song?
Oh man.
Yeah. I think it might. I might be getting it wrong, but I thought that was Imagine Dragons.
It's Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, but that's a bar. That's a bar. You were hating on me. Now you bought tickets to see me.
Yeah.
But you couldn't afford the front row. You got to get the nosebleed, yo. And if that's not fuel to like keep going, then that's crazy.
And it's not easy. I mean, we say that now because we have years of experience, right? But when you're starting out and you're really building that muscle, that mental toughness, it's really not easy.
Yeah.
And it takes time to develop mental toughness. But we're here to tell you that you can.
You can. If you have systems in place, and ultimately that's what resilience is. You know what I'm saying? And I told myself, like, even with this workshop, I was just like, put it on the calendar, and even if it's one person, show up and do it. Because usually, my system is, it's one person, give them their refund, and then try again. But this time, I'm just like, all right, if I continue doing that, then I'm building a system of failure and not resilience. And ultimately, I want that 3 to turn into 6 and that 6 to turn into 9. But you got to keep going. And so one of those fail safes is, if you don't hit your sales mark or your mark, just show up and do it anyway. And do it like there was 5,000 people in there. And then the next time you do it again. And then you learn, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to tweak? So on and so forth. Which brings us to step 3.
Step number 3. So we got good company to yourself, find good company, and be good company, which is you building a really great business that you love, that you're called to, and then also sustaining yourself. So being good company to yourself, finding good company, and building a good company, a sustainable company. I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, while we're building, we're not thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about prioritizing our well-being. And that's when we begin to burn out. And you were talking about that earlier. I think the percentage is probably like 60% now of people burning out. You hear that on social media all the time. All these creators and influencers, they're burning out. Yeah, they're like, I'm done, and you become very dispassionate. So that's why it's important for you, while you're building a great business and learning the systems and the strategies and all this other stuff, you need to learn the systems and the strategies for yourself. Learning how to regulate your nervous system. Learning how to take care of your well-being, and beyond like, let me go get a good cut and get my nails done or whatever. It's beyond that. It's really taking care of yourself, really having strategic rest, because the pause sustains the push.
The pause sustains the push. That's a bar. That's a bar. I love this because it really ties into everything that I've been teaching. When you take full responsibility for your mental health, it is a my choice thing. To be to understand how you work. And I talk about this all the time with me and Jess. Like, Jess has non-negotiables. I have non-negotiables. And they are what they are. They're literally non-negotiable, meaning I'm not changing this for you. I don't want you to change it for me. Because ultimately, you need this to be the version that I need you to be, and I need this for me to be the version I need to be. It's all about self-care, whether it's the movies, whether it's her going to get her nails done, hanging out with her girls, me hanging out with my boys, shooting hoops, going to the gym, whatever the case may be. Like, these are things that I need to do to show up as a husband, to show up as a dad, to show up as an entrepreneur, to show up for my business. You know what I'm saying? And if that means that, you know, Charlie's getting up at 3 a.m, but I have a live event tomorrow, well, guess what? You're going to have to take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. And vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah.
shake your head, man. That's just how it is. And it's like
You have to. It has to be not
you gotta
even
give and
balance.
take.
It's harmony. You got to find the harmony.
It's give and take. It's just like, all right, like, as you know, if she had a busy test and she had to take for some type of certification that ultimately is going to help our community, our family community first, right? What does it look like for me to be like, nah, I'm gonna book 16 events on this day, right? It doesn't work that way, because now it doesn't help her, it doesn't help me, it doesn't help anything. And I think that's what you're trying to say. Be good company means, how am I helping myself so that ultimately I can help y'all? And there's nothing wrong with that. People think that's selfish, and it's not selfish. It's selfless. Now, taking, and not giving,
selfish.
that becomes selfish. But selfless is, what choices can I make to keep my mental pillar strong? Do I need a weekend break? Do I need a vacation? Do I need, you know, certain things? If I need those things, then I'm going to make those choices to do them, instead of blaming other people, that's how you get blame, is you mix your buckets and say, oh, you know, I can never, you know, leave because, you know, my kids. And people do that all the time. Oh, I can't build a business because my kids. Well, it's just like, one, you had them. They didn't have you. They didn't ask to be here. And then two, what have you done to make this happen? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need, like I said, like, I shoot on Mondays. It's just like, I need Mondays. And we're going to have to figure this out. I need Mondays. And if Monday doesn't work, then I'm going to have to take half a Tuesday, half a Wednesday, half a Thursday to make up for Monday. So what can we do right now? Again, fail safe. If Monday doesn't work, then although my week is going to be now longer, I have something in place that says, all right, well, when you get home at 5, I'm out. Because I got to go. I'm going to go from 5 to 10, 5 to 11, 5 to 2 in the morning, whatever the case may be, to get this done, right? Now, ultimately, you want it to be as smooth as possible, but you have to have systems in place. And that's like, that's just what it means to be resilient.
Yeah. And, you know, as entrepreneurs, I talked about the pause. In the pause is when you find your clarity, right? You're pausing to reflect on, okay, where am I at in my life? Where am I at in my business? Where am I at, you know, either solo or I'm in a relationship, me and my family? Where are we at? How can I make this all work together, right? So in the pause, you get your clarity. Then you can make better decisions. And then from there, you can make adjustments to create new work rhythms. Because I think that's important. You talked about that. That's what you're talking about. You have a rhythm, you and your family. Okay, I'm working here. I need you to support me here. You're working here. I'm going to support you here. It's important for us to be able to pause so that we can see that I need to change some things in my life so I can have a rhythm that works for me, a rhythm that works for my business and my family. But if you don't pause long enough, then you will start to have resentment, right? Right? Resentment with anybody. It doesn't matter. Your partner, you're mad about your business. I can't stand this anymore. My customers are getting on my nerves. Dude, you need to pause. Yeah. You need to do some time, get away. You need to reset. You need to reflect and see where you need to make changes, because in a moment, you're going to become very fatigued and you're not going to want to do this anymore. And you've been very dispassionate about your business. And that's what's going to happen.
And your mental pillar is what holds everything else up. So your core four is your spiritual health, your financial health, your physical health, and your mental health. And your mental health, although fourth, is literally the foundation that holds everything up, because you need self-discipline. You need to be able to talk. Like, you need mental strength to be able to live in the pause and go, okay, where am I at? If you don't have that, then you don't pause. You just go. And then everybody, this is why I feel like, you know, on social media, you see these restaurant burnouts, where the customer's wilding out and then the employee wilds out and the manager wilds out and it's fight. It's because you're go, 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 go on top of life happening. And when you're an entrepreneur, I'm going to be extremely honest with y'all, that is magnetized, what's the word I'm looking for? Magnified by 1,000%. There is no, there's no days off as a beginning entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And even as a seasoned entrepreneur like you and I, maybe not even seasoned, but in that, like that mid to upper range now, we got years under our belts. You have to make time.
You do.
And that is a part of your entrepreneurial journey to say, okay, I'm working here, 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 and here, break here because I need it. Because sometimes I've been there before. We talked about this with Jaya. I think it was 2017. I was go, 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 go. By the time October hit, I was done. And I still had like 6, 7, 8, 9 events left. And I was I was done. I was totally burnt out. I did not want to do these. It was a drag. So I apologize to those events, but man, it was a drag to even get there.
You didn't want to be there, huh?
Nope.
Like,
You gotta,
be off the
and
stage.
if anything went wrong, the mic wasn't working, the lights were off, there was no water, the chair, like you feel it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And so that's extremely, extremely important. So, Amanda, you've talked about a lot here, and I think that this is great advice for somebody who's starting off, for somebody who is on their entrepreneur journey and really facing these issues. And so if you're watching this and you're an entrepreneur and you're really like, you're stuck you feel stuck, you feel like you're blaming everything, you feel like you have no control over this journey and you want to quit, I have a live workshop coming up on Wednesday. Actually, it'll be the day that this drops. So June 24th at 5:30. It's called the Absolute Responsibility Live Workshop. I'm going to teach you the 3-bucket philosophy. I'm going to teach you how to protect your core 4, how to put systems in place so ultimately you can be more resilient and really take control over your life. Because ultimately, Amanda, what you're talking about is even though you went through traumatic experiences, even though things shut down in your life, even though you lost people that were close to you, your mom, your dad, family members, pandemics, people hating on you, people saying that's not good, other people making terrible choices that affected your life. Ultimately, you have taken full responsibility for your life and saying, look, I these things have happened to me. You're not denying them. What can I do now?
Yeah.
And so taking full responsibility is that. It's understanding that it doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen to you. It doesn't mean that things didn't happen to you. It means that, okay, I acknowledge that they happened. What can I do now? What are my choices now? Yeah. Right? And this is what the Absolute Responsibility Workshop is all about. What can I do now? So again, if you're stuck, if you feel like you have no control, if you find yourself on social media, reposting, looking at all the noise and the news and the world's going, haywire and I'm living paycheck to paycheck and the eggs are $10, all of that is real. But even though the eggs are $10, people are still making omelets. And I want you to get to that place where even though when life happens, much like you have, you can still take full responsibility for life and make something happen. And you've done a beautiful job with that. Yeah. Across multiple fields. And I know we don't talk as much as we should, and that's on me.
Shame on you.
That's on me. But when we were locked in, we had a lot of conversations about these moments, about being great, about following what we feel is our calling and God's path for us. And I can say this from somebody being close to you, he has not let you down, not at all. Not one bit. And here you are strong, you keep going, you keep creating, you keep adding on to the many hats that you wear. As we close, can you give some advice to the audience, some heartfelt advice, like if there's something that you really wanted to tell people, what would it be?
Man, so much to tell, but I think that if you feel like you're stuck, like Dee was saying, that you're not alone. You're not alone in finding people that understand, that can walk that path with you is very important, because when you're in the low moments, that's when you start to feel like you're sinking and you're drowning. So you need someone that can kind of reach down and kind of pull you up. And I know for me, I haven't launched a business since I've closed since the pandemic happened, since I closed my space. People ask me, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I was so in a rush to try to come back. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to get my mental health together, get my physical health together, my spiritual health and emotional health together, choose me and restore me, reset me, and then I can come back more resilient. And so that's what I want to encourage you, is that, don't try to rush the timeline. Like, that's what we want, right? We want to make it happen. We got to build. I want to make $10,000, in 3 months. Like, unrealistic. It's not going to happen. It could happen, but it's not going to happen realistically. But just be okay with your timeline. Don't look at anybody else's. Don't try to run Dee's race. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to match up and do what Dee's doing. We all have our own timeline. So be you, choose you, and don't measure yourself with anyone else's timeline.
I love that. I love that. Thank you all so much. Amanda, thank you for all of your community work. You have, real quick, because I kind of skimmed by this, but She Stories is still going strong. For the women out here that are watching this, that have a story to tell, how can they be a part of She Stories? How can they find you, follow you, be involved in your...
Sure, we're on all social media platforms. You can check us out on our website, shestories.co. And right now we're offering a program. We're in the middle of it right now, where we're walking women through owning their story, naming what happened, finding their voice again, rewriting their story, and owning their power. It's a 4-month program. I have practitioners, mental health professionals, coaches, and licensed therapists that are helping these women walk through their story. So we'll be starting a new one in September.
Okay.
So if you're interested in applying, you can go to the website and apply there. So this year we're just focusing on that, doing the more deeper work with women. But next year we'll be doing some more storytelling nights, as well as our collection of feminine hygiene products for unhoused women and girls.
Perfect. And then where can they follow you?
They can follow me, EhmandahRamsey.com, or Amanda Ramsey on Instagram, Facebook. You can find me, YouTube.
The chill CEO.
The chill CEO. Keep it chill.
I love that. So once again, y'all, remember that be good to yourself, or be good company to yourself.
Yes.
Find good company, and then be good company.
Yeah.
Ultimately, right?
Yeah. And build a good company.
And build a good company, man, that ultimately serves other people. Collaborate, network, get out there. Don't be afraid to talk to people. But most of all, always remember, life throws curveballs. But even curveballs can be hit for a home run.